Good evening.
Oh, have I got a story to tell you?
Can't wait to hear it. What have you got?
As you know, I just got off a plane a couple hours ago, coming back in from Denver via Boulder, Colorado. I want to tell this story with our guests on because I want to see their reactions. I'm going to ask the Galactic family to maintain our connections, as I had to ask them yesterday to stop exploding bulbs and screwing up the audio and making everything go dead in a studio that is state of the art, the kind of studio you would drool over at Gaia Studios in Boulder, Colorado. It doesn't get any more sophisticated, any more high tech, with a better crew. And they were like, we have to stop. I'm like a third of the way through my interview with Regina Meredith for Open Minds, and they said, we have to stop. Lights are out. We got a light out here. We got a light out there. The poof that you heard in the back was another light. Your AV is down. Nothing's working. We have to stop. So I take Regina by the hands. We're sitting across each other at a table. And I say to the Galactic family, please let us do this. We're doing this for you. We're doing this for all of humankind. But this is your message, and this is our way of disseminating it. And we need you to help us maintain the energy and the frequency level in this studio so that we can use our equipment to do this. Now, nobody's going to see this on Open Minds. This happened when, you know, they're replacing stuff and they're rewiring and replugging, and I just said, I need you to help us do this and get this done so that it can go out into the world. We never had another problem for the whole rest of the hour. For another 45 minutes, not a thing went wrong. Everything was fine. The last time I filmed at Gaia, everybody on that set knows to have their phones turned off. Not just volume down, not just, they know if they are in the studio, phone off, right? That's standard procedure.
Yep.
The last time I was there, every single one of their phones came on at once. And there was a crew of 6 in the studio with me and with Regina. We were doing our interview. I was talking about the farmhouse and how Bathsheba got screwed. Oh, something just flew right in front of you, Tony, right smack in front of you. Just a little zzz, right. Wait till you say, you can go back and look. I find the timer. 4:40. It was like at 4:40, right in front of you, like a little tic tac just flew right in front of you.
Wow.
Okay. So anyway, yeah. So I was talking about, and all of their phones turned on. And all of their phones came through with a text message that was identical. We hear you.
You're kidding.
I am not kidding.
You know, not every, but the last couple of shows that we've done, even for A World Awakening, have consistently had strange things flying across, strange noises, sounds, glitches in the system. So for you to say that doesn't surprise me until the end part of they got the same messages on their cell phones.
Everybody in the studio, their phones turned on, and they all got a text message. We hear you. We can hear you. They all did. They were freaking out. They had one of the facts. He had to leave the studio, and somebody stepped in for him because he was so freaked out that he had to, he went out into the green room and called his mother.
Holy, the mathematical probability of that happening?
No.
Off charts. Not even a physical possibility. And
right.
How many people within the studio out of those 6 got that message?
All 6.
You're kidding.
All 6 got the message.
And it's, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Sorry, I'm just fascinated.
Oh no, this gets better. This gets better. Okay, so what we need to do is bring in Julie and Ken DaCosta. Julie DeMay and Ken DaCosta, who I will be spending the weekend with because I just flew in from Denver. I'm flying out tomorrow for Rhode Island to go do the Ocean State Paracon, which is singularly my most heartfelt moments of every year that I'm there with my dear, dear friends. And they graciously came on tonight. And I can't tell this story without seeing their reactions to it. I want to see all of your reactions to this. Okay? Now, I will tell you, I believe all of you know Deb DeRoos. This involves her as well. I tried to contact her to bring her in so that I could tell her what happened, but I believe she's doing her show. So she's not available. So it is now meant for her to see this after the fact. And as soon as she does, I will receive a phone call. No question. No matter what time of day or night, I will receive a phone call from Deb DeRoos from Houghton Lake, Michigan, going, oh, we're going to have a WTF moment. We are. All right. So here's the deal. All right. So now I've told you about my background with Gaia, right?
The intergalactic group chat that you had.
Yes, exactly. Okay, see this necklace right here? See this necklace right here? I've been wearing the hell out of this necklace because I just love it and it's got really great energy. And my friend Terry Rhodey gave it to me, and I love it, and it matches everything I own. Everything I own, right? Okay, see these earrings? See these Dreamcatcher earrings? These?
Yep.
Do I wear these all the time? Except I wear the purple ones because I wear purple all the time. So I've got 2 pairs of dream catchers, these kind of reddish ones and my purple ones. About 3 years ago, Deb DeRoos gave me those purple dream catcher earrings after I admired them on her body. And she took them off of her body and she handed them to me and gave them to me and told me that it was our special girlfriend gift from her to me, and that they meant so much to me, as special a gift as I could have ever asked for. I wear them constantly. I protect them all the time. I travel with them in my handbag, not in my luggage. They come with me all the time, everywhere. Yesterday morning, I had to film at 11 at Gaia Studios just outside of Boulder. It's about 20 miles outside of Boulder. Now, pay attention, pay close attention. This is a rather detailed story. And then I swear to God, Ken, Julie, will talk the whole rest of the show. We'll talk about Ocean State Paracon, but you need to hear this.
Yep, you got us.
So I'm at the Boulderado Hotel. Beautiful Victorian freaking masterpiece on America's most historic places. Just absolutely magnificent 5-star hotel. They picked me up yesterday morning. The limo comes, picks me up, takes me over to Gaia Studios, which is about 20 miles, maybe not quite 20 miles away. I am met by the general manager, Bonnie. And I go inside and I come across Regina Meredith, whose show Open Minds I was there to film. And it was like I think my 4th or 5th time with her doing her show. So we know each other very well. And the makeup artist, Suzanne, who is truly an artist, gifted. If she can make me look 20 years younger, this woman's got it going, man. I'll tell you what.
There you go.
Okay, so anyway. That said, I wore this necklace. I wore my rings, which I don't even have on yet because they're still packed. And I wore my purple Dreamcatcher earrings to go with the purple top that I had for the filming. We sat down. I told you already, everything starts going haywire. We're not 10 minutes into the interview when the studio starts shutting down, lights start popping, audio goes down, completely down out of nowhere. Everything, all the lights are still on, but the audio is down. Okay, fine. So I asked, could you please let us do our good work down here, ground crew, Let us do our good work down here. Help us regulate and stabilize the energy in the room. As I'm saying this to them, I'm holding Regina's hands across the table. Okay. Now, I'd already had the makeup and the hair done. Everybody knew what my earrings were. I got the okay on everything I was wearing. I brought other tops in case they wanted different colors. I always do that because sometimes they do. We were good to go. So we do the interview after everything turns back on and stays on for the rest of the interview. Hugs and kisses. Love you all. See you again soon. Bye-bye. My driver takes me back to the Boulderado Hotel. At this point, I have not eaten a thing. It's 2:00 in the afternoon. I am freaking ravenous. So I go down. Oh, and they're totally militant about masks. God love them out there. You can't walk into that hotel unless you are masked up, period. They'll stop you at the door. So I walk in the hotel. I go down into the restaurant. I take my mask off. It gets caught in the earring on my right ear. I feel it tug. And so I carefully remove the mask and reposition the earring because it started to pull it out of my ear on my right ear. The left one was fine. I eat my lunch. I put my mask back on, walk back up the stairs to the main lobby, go out the front because, of course, if I've just eaten, what does Annie need? A cigarette. I go outside, I reach over like this and pull my mask off. And as I pull my mask off, it grabs a hold of the earring in my right ear and sends it flying. Flying. I feel it literally pull out of my ear. It didn't hurt. It pulled right directly out of the hole. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Well, I didn't say that out loud because there were like people everywhere, okay? But, to me, what I said.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I probably did. Did I just say that out loud?
That's
okay, because, that restaurant's an inside-outside restaurant. It was 70 degrees. There were a lot of people sitting there.
Wow.
Okay, so I start looking for the earring. I can't find the earring. Other people that are sitting at the restaurant climb over the fence and start helping me look for the earring. We're looking in the little tree that's planted in front of the Boulderado to see if it got flung up into the tree because we can't find it on the ground. We can't find it on the stairs. We can't find it on the pavement. We can't find it in the plot of land that the tree is planted in. And we can't find it in any of the planters of palms that are all around the tree and in front of the building. It's gone. It's gone. I spent 2 hours looking for it. I can't tell you how many people stopped what they were doing, including stopped eating their lunch to come help me look for that earring. Meanwhile, all the time I'm saying, a very dear friend gave me these earrings. It's not about the monetary value. This is the sentimental value of these earrings. They are my favorite things of my jewelry. I love them. I love them. This can't happen. Oh my God, where's my earring? Gone. It's gone. But meanwhile, I meet 4 or 5 different people who engage in conversation with me. And there was this to say that my faith in humanity was restored. I mean, these people dropped their lives to help me find a little tiny dream catcher earring that I felt come flipping right out of my ear, caught on my freaking mask. The valet guys, they went down into the pit of despair, down underneath the deck of the opening they went through the air conditioning unit. They went through the heating unit. They went down the metal stairs. There were 1,000 leaves. They pulled all the leaves out. They searched for hours with me to find this earring. And I'm like, this is a needle in a haystack. This is a completely futile effort. How could this have disappeared? This thing is made of air, okay? It has no weight to it. There's no way it could have been flung anywhere. They stopped traffic in front of the building in case it had flown out into the road and they didn't want somebody to drive over it. They put their things out there to stop traffic to go look in the road. Okay, this is how kind and good and wonderful all of these people were. My heart was so touched, but my heart was so broken because Deb DeRoos gave me these earrings off of her body with all of the love in her heart. And she is my ET star sister. She is. I went upstairs. I called my father. I cried. I'll admit it. I cried. I was like, this can't have happened. This is horrible. This cannot have happened. I know nobody died. Okay. I know it's an earring that can be replaced, but they were from Deb. All right. So he's like, calm down, honey, calm down. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. I call my mother.
Wow. Okay.
I know. Okay. Because this is how much it freaking meant to me. I call my mother. My mother says, don't worry, sweetheart. It'll come back to you. I call my sister Cindy while I'm searching and say, Cindy, I've lost my earring. Oh my God. Oh my God. Send the guides. I need my earring back. I cannot lose this earring. And I told her the story and she's like, okay, they're on the way. Don't worry. If it's there, they'll find it. Okay. Don't worry. They're, and Cindy's guides have come through for me. I don't know how many times. So nothing, no earring. I go upstairs. I'm so depressed. I lay down. I take a nap. I wake up. I go back outside. It's now starting to get dark. I take a freaking flashlight with me because I figure it's metal. If I hit it with light, it'll, I'll see it.
Maybe. Yeah.
Nothing. All through the tree, every limb, all through every planter, all down the stairs with the flashlight. The guys at the valet, they're helping me. Everybody's helping me. Meanwhile, while I'm out there looking, one of the valet guys, his name is Will, says, I think I recognize you. Is that possible? And I said, well, maybe. I'm here filming at Gaia. And I told him a little, like 2 sentences of my background. He's like, oh my God. My girlfriend, Emily, is your biggest fan. Oh my God. She loves you so much. You can't even imagine. So I stopped what I was doing. And I said, give me some of that Boulderado note paper that's so pretty and elegant in a pen. And I write a letter to Emily, who he's going home to in an hour last night, about meeting Will and being introduced to her through him. I give her my phone number, tell her to give me a call. We'll chat. He's like, I can't even believe you just did this. I cannot believe you wrote this beautiful letter to her in your beautiful handwriting and you put your frickin' phone number on it. Oh my God, she's going to have a stroke.
Kindness begets kindness.
Okay.
You just extended what they extended to you. So nice.
And I turned around and I said, you know what? I'm done looking for the earring. I lost the earring so that we could make this connection. I just realized that the earring went missing so that you and I tonight could make this connection because there had been a shift change. So I'm dealing with, new valet drivers at this point, and Will was one of them. I go back up to my room. I feel lighthearted, like better. I feel better about it, like Deb's going to understand. Shit happens, so on and so forth. Okay. I know I'm dragging this out too long, but this is a really important story. So, 3:00 in the morning, I wake up. It's snowing like I can't even tell you. The temperature has gone from 70 to 20 and the wind is 60 miles an hour and it's snowing. Because why? Because Colorado is bipolar and needs to be on meds. And what am I doing outside? With a flashlight looking for the damn earring again. Right now, I've now wasted like somewhere between 4 and 5 hours of my one full day in Boulder at the most elegant, beautiful hotel in the whole world, looking for a missing earring because that's how much it means to me. I finally I get in the limo this morning to go to the airport. I'm like, I give up. If it's supposed to be mine, it will come back to me. It'll come back to me. I get on the plane. I come home. Dad picks me up at the airport. I come home. Peanut slobbers all over me. I've still got icky stuff. I mean, she's like going out of her mind because mommy is home. So I have 20 minutes of peanut slobber. Then I eat my dinner. And then I hear ding on my phone. It's Bonnie from Gaia Studios. We found your earring. Now, she knew exactly what my earrings looked like because she filmed me yesterday. She admired them in my ears as I was sitting there having a whole new face applied. She said, we found your earring. Just send me which preferred address you would like me to send it to, Florida or Georgia. She didn't know my earring was missing. My earring was not missing there. I left Gaia Studios with that earring in. Okay. And it traveled 20 miles from the front entrance of Boulderado Hotel to Gaia Studios to exactly the people that they knew would get it back to me. Now, here's the thing. They could just as easily have laid it on the vanity in my hotel room or in my bedside table. They could have put it anywhere they wanted to. It could have been here waiting for me when I came home because that's how they rock and roll. They put it back at Gaia so that I would have this story to tell them because they did not know I lost the earring at the hotel. So tomorrow morning, I am going to call the studio and tell everybody this same story. And it was an acknowledgement of everyone that worked on that interview yesterday to make it the very best it could be and to make their presence known. Now, I had just opened up my email. I got it right here. Right, I opened it up in my phone. My father's sitting in his rocking chair. Peanut is sitting on the little ottoman right next to him, hoping to lick the ice cream bowl. Kind of a given, you know what I mean? And then like, you're making your dog fat. No, Dad, you're making my dog fat, okay? That's not for nothing, but you are. You're the one, not me. Okay, so she's sitting there. All of a sudden, the front of Dad's pants move. Now, the fan's not on overhead. The front door is not open. It's not breezy, even if the front door were open. And he gets all wide-eyed, and he's like, something just touched my legs. Something just touched my legs just now. And I said, Dad, I saw your pants move. I know something just touched your legs. Peanut takes off like a bat out of hell, grabs her bone off the top of my bed, plows up underneath it, starts sucking on it like it's a security blanket, and won't come out for 30 minutes. She saw something that freaked her out so bad that she deliberately removed herself from us at a time when she was joyful to see me and hid under my bed for about 30 minutes with the offer of treats, cookies, and a walk. All three of which will cause her to emerge from wherever she is instantaneously. Right. She would not come out from under the bed. She saw something that freaked her out. And I've got my earring back. And there's my story. And isn't that amazing?
It is.
It's like an incredible confluence of things that happened there leading up to this. And you made friends. You found your earring. You had some kind of weird contact in the house as soon as you got in. And just a confluence of a lot of things there. That's a great story.
It is.
You got to let me know what they say at Gaia.
Yeah. I know what they're going to say at Gaia.
Yeah.
I know what they're going to say.
Let me know what they say when we see you Friday. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
You know, the entire
Deb DeRoos is calling me.
Just the entire unfolding of every aspect of what you said occurred. That's remarkable and highly unexplainable from natural circumstances. So be very curious to see what, if anything else, comes about from from the whole transition of you getting the earring back and whatever else comes into play on this. But what an incredible story.
Yeah, that was quite an experience there. How's Deb?
Deb's good. I'm texting her right now, on my show because it's my show and I can. And this involves her. I wanted to bring her on. I should just call her, but then I would have to tell the story all over again. No, I'll wait. It worked out the way it was supposed to. It's hold on, I'm just telling her I'll do this when I'm done. And then I will tell her. And then she can watch the show and see for herself. This is absolutely amazing. They had, we all know, they have all the ability that they could ever possibly want or need to take my little 2-inch dinky purple Dreamcatcher earring and put it wherever. They sent it back to Gaia so that everybody at Gaia would know this story too. So that everybody at Gaia would, a tip of the hat acknowledgement for what they all did to work together yesterday to bring this important message out into the world on open minds.
And once again, another uneventful trip for Andy. It's like,
she leaves a trail.
In Colorado. Yeah, same old.
I do. So, wow. I'm floating. I feel that sensation of higher love. I feel such gratitude. I feel such warmth, and I feel their presence. I mean, literally and figuratively, I feel their presence around me. And it is, it's, as someone I know who coined a phrase, a wonder to behold. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, my dear friends. It has been a phenomenal couple of days, but today I'm marking it on the calendar. I mean, this is absolutely amazing. And it's not like Bonnie could, I didn't bring all my jewelry. All I did was just wear my earrings and the necklace and the rings. And my outfit, and I brought an extra couple of shirts. But I didn't bring a variety of jewelry. I left all of that in the hotel room after I had chosen what I was going to wear. And so it can't be that they found another earring that I might have lost. It's not that. But Bonnie sent it at end of business. I'm not going to bother her tonight, but I know that they've got my earring. And I know why.
Are you still going to need that flight to Rhode Island, or are you just going to basically float up here at this point? Just project, because it looks like that you're probably capable of doing that at this point.
I know it, but my broomstick's in the shop again, and I could just float, but if I just float, there's no snacks, and they've got these really good snacks on Southwest. That they're really good. Not what you would think of as airline food, No. I mean, I beat everybody out. I hadn't eaten since yesterday afternoon. I was so upset. When I ate my lunch, I never ate again. And so by the time I got on a plane at 12:30 this afternoon in Denver, I was ravenous. So, I just took anybody that got snacks that didn't want them. I just I'll take those. I mean, I have no shame, none at all. It's like, are you going to eat that?
They're going to end up in somebody's purse for the next 6 months. Why not? I wish you'd find the broomstick, though, because you're going to miss the big Saturday afternoon Quidditch match that we have at the time.
Yeah.
I haven't told you about that yet, but.
Oh, God. Yeah, you should have told me about that in advance, because maybe I could have gotten a loaner or something. Jesus.
We're at a casino. The bets have already been placed. So.
Oh, okay. Well. So anyway.
That's a great story. Really, truly.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, you hit me with a good one really earlier in the week before I even left for Colorado. So, now we're square. Actually, yours beats mine, but still, Amazing stuff. And my father's like, they're in the house. They're in the house. I'm like, Dad, they're always in the house. The day I moved in here, I told them they were welcome to come by anytime they wanted. You know that, so stop acting all surprised. Of course they're in the house.
That story, now that we're even, are you talking about the charging cord in my laptop bag? That one?
That was part of it. And then some other stuff. That was bizarre. Tony, the live stream at the farm.
Nuts. That was nuts.
Ken, tell that story again for my audience in case they weren't watching the other night on your show with George.
Sure. Real quick. What happened was we were filming at the beginning of Saturday night, around 5:30. So we're having kind of a round table around the kitchen table at the farmhouse. And very emotional, Andrea, her father, her sister Nancy, really like bearing their souls, being like, extremely forthcoming and candid about what's going on. So we got through that, and there's a clip that I had recorded at the farmhouse long before I even knew Andrea. Julie was with us that day.
Yep.
Julie actually generated this thing walking down the stairs, forgot to shut her recorder off, thank God.
Thank God.
Sometimes the greatest accidents in the world.
Senior moment.
Right. So we had you weren't that old at that time.
Senior.
No,
it's only 40 something.
Yeah. So at the end of this clip, long story short, we hear a little child say, "Find me." Okay. So Andrea knows about this clip. She gave it context the first time she heard it. So we decide that good time to play this clip now. We're pretty much done with that. We're going to move on to something else. So I got my laptop in front of me. I pull out a speaker that I had hidden off camera. So Mustafa Gadalari is sitting next to me, and my laptop is charged at 92%. So I open it up, the screen comes up, and here we go. And I hit enter to play it. The screen goes black, the battery dies. Now, Mustafa sees this, and he just goes like, that was at 92%. I saw that. I don't know what's going on. So now you're filming, of course, so you're in kind of a panic because everybody feels kind of awkward, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. By the end of it, I got my phone because this clip was on our website, so everyone was able to hear it. But in the meantime, while we're all doing a soft shoe, trying to figure out, okay, we got to do some more talking here, my laptop bag is behind me, and I said, well, if for nothing else, I'll just get the charging cord. I'll plug it in real quick. Kind of surreptitiously under the table, we'll play the clip. Can't find my charging cord. There's 3 pockets, front, back, middle, like typical laptop. And there's nothing in it. And I'm like,
it's empty. It's completely empty.
Shit. You left the cord at home, charging it overnight. But even though there still should have been plenty of charge. So I said, okay, I don't have the cord, but we use the phone. So all's well that ends well. So the following day, I get back. It's like 2 a.m. I leave the farmhouse, and I get home, lock my car, and it's like, I'll get this stuff tomorrow. So I go out the following morning, take everything out I brought, basically a backpack and the laptop bag. So I look behind the chair where the plug is in the living room. I don't see the cord. And I'm like, what the hell did I do with it? I didn't leave it there. No, I didn't take it out. I never took the cord out. So now I'm really kind of puzzled. I asked my wife, it's like, you seen the cord? No, I haven't seen the cord. I'm like, I got to go out and buy a new one. There's another $40, whatever. I open up the laptop bag, take out the laptop because I want to offload some clips, some EVP sessions we did. And I reach in, and the freaking cord is in the laptop bag. Where it typically is all the time. And at that point, and you guys know me, I'm just like, I'm not, coincidence. Am I stupid? Did I no, I'm looking through this thing and it's not there. And the following morning, it's in the laptop bag. Nobody knew what I was talking about. So I just sort of looked at that and I went, I had one of those, what the hell is going on here moments. And, bizarre, really weird. Now, I mean, obviously nobody went in my belongings and borrowed it to put it, because all of those things are just basically native to each laptop, has its own chart. You know, it's not necessarily going to work on somebody else's, and nobody would borrow it anyway. So when she tells me about her earring, I'm listening to this and I'm just saying, you know, it wasn't 2 weeks ago that I don't know who moved this thing and who killed my laptop and brought it back to life. I don't know. So
maybe they were trying to prevent you from playing the clip. Didn't realize you had a secondary source with your phone, and then when they realized you played it anyway, went, give him his cord back. It's already done.
Let's drive him
I don't
totally
even think
insane.
it was. Yeah, I don't even think it was that. I think it was a way. I think they knew that Ken could easily go into his other piece of technology and retrieve what he wanted to play. I think it was their way of making their presence known to everyone that was watching right on the spot in front of all of our live viewers and everyone sitting at that table. That was the best way for them to make their presence known to us right then in that moment.
Well, that makes perfect sense.
It was all kind of retroactive to find this later. If it had shown up that night, it would have been an even greater, a better story. But that was just the beginning of a few bizarre things that happened as we went forward that night. I didn't know it at the time, but I said, well, put that on the list. Stick that in a stack. There's another one. So welcome to the farmhouse, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. Welcome to the farmhouse. Well, you know, speaking of which, that was 72 hours of some serious kind of intense. And it created some emotional turmoil in my family, especially for my mother. I promised her I will never ask her to do anything like it again. I can't even really explain all the dynamics, the shifting, the weirdness. Nancy sitting in the kitchen with Susan and Jen, and I'm sitting at the table with her, and all of a sudden she goes, Dad's going to fall down the stairs. I said, no, Nance, Dad's not going to fall down the stairs. She's like, Ann, I just had a premonition. Dad's going to fall down the stairs. I said, no, honey, I have been drilling this into these folks for 2 months and all through the planning. Dad is not allowed to go into the basement, into the cellar of that house without somebody directly in front of him and somebody directly behind him. He's 86 years old. He's not so stable on his feet anymore because he's got glaucoma. He's about to have cataract surgery. He cannot see well. Everybody knows this. I have drilled it into their heads. Dad is not going to fall. Meanwhile, Dad's hanging out with Corey out in the living quarters at the other end of the house. He didn't hear Nancy say that. So it's not like, you know, I mean, even I'm pragmatic enough to say, you know, did Nancy plant that idea in Dad's head and then it happened? Power of suggestion. Oh my God, he slips on the stairs, right?
There are less painful ways to make prophecies come true, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And I argued with her. I'm like, Nance, I'm telling you, this is not going to happen. This is all planned out. This is, you know, don't worry about this. Dad's fine. 15, 20 minutes later, down he goes.
Yep.
Down he goes. Corey felt horrible.
I know.
You know, but there was nothing he could do about it. Mustafa felt horrible. There was nothing he could do about it. Dad didn't fall forward and Dad didn't fall backward. So he didn't fall into Corey or back into Mustafa. He fell on the next to the last stair and he went straight down against the horsehair plaster and the granite wall. The only damage he did was he ripped the pocket in his pretty pants, which I already sewed for him. And he got a little bit of a bruise on his leg, a little scuffed up, and he limped a little bit for a couple of days. Nothing broken, no permanent damage.
That's the good part.
But it happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
and he was very adamant about, on Saturday, he was very adamant that, of course, what happens in these things, obviously, they're not scripted, but they're scheduled.
scheduled.
Friday night was the upstairs, and then we did the seance room in the library, and Sunday of Halloween, of course, was the basement. So I know he wanted to get in there Saturday because he was adamant about it, and he was very motivated to get down into the basement.
And Jay wouldn't let him go because it wasn't on the schedule that way. There was just so many cameras available, so many people available, and and it was Jay as a director, and he was directing how this live stream was going to go. But Dad came up to me on the way upstairs to our rooms at the hotel, and he's like, I kept getting called down to that cellar. I kept getting called over and over again to that cellar, just like Cindy did when we were here to do Kindred Spirits. And she was like, no. She was not going to engage. She did not want to engage. And she paid the price with a bruise the size of a softball. And that was the decision made, that she would never return to the farm. Well, he was more than willing to go down and answer that call. And Jay stopped him. So, the dynamics, Ken? Weren't the dynamics shifting in such a way? You're walking behind me. I'm saying I feel a presence right behind me. I feel a male presence right behind me at the same time that you were walking behind and said, I feel a male presence right here. I mean, it was right behind us. He was right behind us.
I mean, at one point, I know that someone got the message, or Susan said they want you to sit because they're filming and I'm distracting. You have to understand that it's not like we haven't been around cameras before. I don't really care about cameras. It's up to them to keep up with us.
Right. It really is. I forget that they're even there. I'm just doing my thing.
But while they're filming, I'm doing investigator stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not like hitting a mark and make sure you don't turn your back, because there was something, and I recorded a voice. Yeah. And I played it on our show Sunday. There was a man, and everyone heard it because they remarked about it. And I got it. And this is when you said there's something behind me, and I'm pacing behind you because I can hear this, but I don't want to be that guy. What was that? Like, just everybody hold their water, be quiet. Maybe we can all hear it. And we did. Okay. And we got a clip. Yay us. Because that's what we do. But then, eventually I sat down next to you, and, there was just a lot going on. At one time in the library, I just had that. I remember looking at Bill Brock, the cameraman, and saying, man, I just feel fear right now. Not fight or flight, but almost like an empathic thing. Like I was feeling what somebody else was feeling. And Bill's looking at me and he's like, I've never heard you say that ever. And I said, I don't want to run, but I'm just feeling, I think I know how an empath feels. Like it's like you're feeling either some emotion of somebody in the room or somebody who's not in the room. But for a 40-second period, I'm just kind of like, man, something's going to happen here. And then as quickly as it came, it went away. But it was just like an odd feeling.
Yeah, I do. Did it feel like there was static electricity around you? No. Did it feel like your hair was kind of raising up, or you felt like almost like tickle effect around you, or was it different than that?
I kind of felt it in here, like,
visceral
anxiousness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was just kind of like, okay. And then this was at the time Christine had literally seen something in the seance room while we were in the next room. And then we all went out there like, are you okay? What's going on? Oh, something was here. And so there was a 5 or 10 minute block of time when we were in the library that I'm not going to say all hell broke loose. There weren't things flying off shelves. But there was just something, an event happened. Probably the best way to word it. There was an event there.
Yeah.
And I wish that sometimes we need to break it down. As far as your father going in the basement, I think I would have called an audible right there. I'm not a director, but you listen to your body sometimes. Like this man wants to go down there. Might not be a bad idea to call an audible here go off script because maybe there's a reason. So I don't know. It was just, like I say, confluence of a lot of odd things and emotional things, but I think it was time well spent there. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be back up in Rhode Island over the weekend, and there was enough time for us to make a quick trip over to the farm. And for the first time in my life, and I already talked to you about this, Julie, I don't want to go. For the first time in my life since living there as a child, I have the opportunity to go to the farm, and I don't want to. And maybe it's because I need some chill time, some separation from that event. It was far more than I expected. I figured for me, piece of cake, breeze, no problem. But not only was I concerned for my family members and their reactions, but I had a very deep-seated emotional reaction, especially when I was asked to do this investigation. And I don't even know the history of this, the Estes method. I don't know the history of this. All I was told was how to, what to do, how to do, what to listen to. To me, it was just like doing review on a spirit box. Another one. What's the time? 4743. Mark it.
Got it.
Like light speed. Directly in front of you, Tony. Like light speed. Bugs don't move that fast.
He's not throwing
They
stuff.
don't.
Well, I think if it would have been a bug, I would have seen it. If it crossed between my face and the camera, I think I would have seen it. But I'll be reviewing.
Okay.
Cool.
Wow. Call me after. Okay.
You bet. You bet.
Oh, my God. Clear as a bell. Couldn't even be any clearer. Ken, Julie, did you see it?
I did not. I am watching you speak. You know
okay. I mean? All right. Well,
we're playing Hollywood Squares here. We got
yeah. Oh, okay.
Me, I'll go through it with a fine-tooth comb. So if
I gave you both times. I gave you both times. Go find them. Cut those clips. Put them up. Also, you are going, at least from my perspective, you are going from color to black and white. Now, none of the color behind you is changing. Nothing is changing except your color. One moment you're black and white, the next minute you're Technicolor. Then you're black and white again. Right now you are black and white. Now, I don't know if anybody else can see that or what's going on. But yeah, so anyway. So Julie, we get to spend the weekend together, my darling. I'm so excited. Thank you for inviting me to your home. Our friend Julie Griffin's coming in for the event from Connecticut. She's going to be, oh my God, thank God, my helper. And we're going to have a wonderful couple of days. No question about it. And also doing an event at the Alley Theater on Sunday, a lecture at 12 noon in Middleborough, Massachusetts. After the Ocean State Paracon is over, we're going to be with Lorna there at this beautiful theater with me, just blah, blah, blah. I mean, really, that's what I do before I fly home. What are your expectations, Julie? What are you looking forward for the weekend?
I think it's just going to be a fun time. I mean, we've done this, 7, 8, 9 years now. Yeah. And we really mastered the event when we were at, in Harrisville. But I think it's going to be different in a sense of we're not going to be melting in the 95-degree humidity, heat. I think all the vendors only brought fans only to fan themselves because they were melting in the afternoon. So I think it's a state-of-the-art casino. It's state-of-the-art in every way, and I think it's going to be awesome. It's a central location. We don't have to have people saying, where's the ATM? It's a couple blocks up the street. No Wi-Fi. So all that stuff's all been answered.
Yeah.
So we're looking to not work as hard, but I think the event itself is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
I think when you see the venue, and we have absolutely Julie to thank for this because she spends a lot of time at the casino. And
great food.
Yeah, great.
They do. Flax is awesome. I love the restaurant.
Yeah, great food. I would stick with that if I were you. But she walked into this, and it's similar to the way we walked in, and you were really responsible for us going to the theater all these years.
Yeah.
And having the outdoor event. And this is a place that, Julie and her partner Joan frequent, and said, how about this? And I'm like, does it rain inside? No. I'm in. So it checks,
tears.
It checks off a lot of boxes for us. So we appreciate that. And Julie came up with this idea. I haven't had one yet. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's just like, have it here. So we have Julie to thank for that. And as soon as I saw the venue, you sold me.
And with COVID, we initially were going to have a great deal, and they gave us even a better deal after COVID. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, they did. So after a year off, and I think you're going to enjoy the theater too, Andrea. It is a quaint little neighborhood theater.
My favorite.
And you, it is not a 300 seat, like the Assembly Theater, but it kind of takes you back to your roots because you were in a repertory group at one point. And it's that type of theater, and it's really geared toward young people. And this is for the Brentwood School of Theater. And this is, takes kids and gives them an outlet for their art in a nurturing environment where it's just kind of like they're around other kids their age. And this is also amazing about Lorna. She is like the Miss Massachusetts Sensei Sherpa guide. Every Miss Massachusetts comes through this theater to hone their skills, for lack of a better word. Mm-hmm. As far as present, and like there are just pictures of Miss Massachusetts 2017, Miss Massachusetts so it's just it's a wonderful little place. It's just got a nice cozy vibe to it. You'll love it.
Well, I'm no beauty queen, but I can be a drama queen. Give me a stage. Just give me that. Give me the stage. Tony, stay with us because the ETs are flying around you. And if there's another one, I won't know unless you stay right with us. So no slipping away this show. You have to stay. Plus, I like the symmetry of the 4 boxes. I can't even help that. I'm like George in that respect. Like I like everything to line up, perfectly and beautifully. But I'm keeping an eye on you, Tony, because they're with you tonight. They are. And God, I know I feel them with me. This is so wonderful. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I'm just so happy. Julie again made the arrangements for me to appear at the Abbey Theater. Mm-hmm. And when she introduced me to Lorna Brunel, a wonderful, wonderful woman, very high vibration, like really high vibration. Oh yeah. Just really like tapped in, tuned in, turned on. So Julie sent me a message last week, and I'm like, Jules, you're going to have to handle all of this. I am up to my ass in work here. And she's like, okay, I got it. I'm on it. I got it. So, but then she sends me a message and she said, Lorna needs to know what you want for a fee for speaking. And I was like, oh, shit. Okay. So I called her. I called Julie and she said, yeah, this is to raise money for a school for the creative arts for children. And I'm like, well, then there's no charge. And Lorna freaked out. She couldn't believe it. I don't know what's not to believe. I have I have a moral compass and an ethical code. I'm not going to take money away from the kids any more than I would take money away from, what we're raising for the Ocean State Paracon. Also, a very, very worthy cause every year, a very worthy cause. It's a way for our community to give back individually and collectively. Don't you agree, Ken? I know you do, Jules.
Yeah, I mean, and it was funny. I was doing a show earlier tonight with Ron Kolick. Ron and Kerrigan, and we talked about the same thing. And the way I explain it, and I think I speak for everybody in our group, we like to, in the paranormal field, to say that we are here to help people, but help takes many forms. It's not necessarily banishing a ghost from your house. Sometimes it's reaching out into the community to people who really, some of them could care less about what we do. They're non-believers or whatever the case may be, but there are advocacy groups that help lift these people. So, we're doing our little bit to kind of change things. So why not take the paranormal, which everybody is like, it's a hot thing now, and use it to better a program or organizations like that? If people are interested in the paranormal, come on down, because there's plenty of other people at our event too, between artisans and artists and authors, and a lot of them have nothing to do with the paranormal, but it's just a way to reach out in the community a little bit. That's it.
Yeah, and that's really the thing. It's easy to talk a good game, but you gotta put your money where your mouth is, put your heart where it belongs, do the work. Yesterday when I was doing my interview with Regina, we were talking, prior to it, and I said something to her. I don't even know if it's on film or not, but I know that I said to her that it's important for humanity to wake up, but it's not enough for humanity to wake up. We have to wake up. We have to stand up. We have to rise up. And we have to speak our truth. Boots on the ground. We're the ground crew. We have a job to do down here. And, it's like love is, it masquerades as a noun in the dictionary. It's not. It's a verb. It's an action word. What does it mean? It's nothing but a concept unless we put it into use, unless we express that emotion to others, unless we share, the intensity and the beauty of actively loving others. It's our superpower. And we have an infinite variety of ways to express it to each other at any given time, at any given moment. And we've got to get to a place where we're not so self-centered and self-absorbed that we just literally forget to give of ourselves when the opportunity presents itself, when the opportunity arises. We have to lift up our fellow man and woman and do whatever we can. And that was reinforced for me yesterday when people who had plenty of other things to do, who had jobs to do, the valet service, the people that were just having a nice leisurely lunch, afternoon lunch, a cocktail at the restaurant, stopped their conversations, stopped what they were doing to come help me find an earring that has literally a modicum of monetary value. It wasn't the monetary value that mattered. It was the sentimental value. And I said that. I said that to everybody. Oh my God, I cannot breathe. Back in Florida, I was fine when I was in the dry air of Colorado, breathing just fine.
You
no
know what, though,
coughing, no sneezing.
to kind of expound on that just a little bit, and I've always felt this way, activism does not necessarily mean blocking off a roadway, carrying a sign. If that's your way to put your back up against the wall, like enough's enough, then that's fine. I support that. But activism can come in a lot of different forms. For someone who maybe doesn't want to do that, there's always something, if you just think about it a little bit, that you can do to make the world a little bit better or make a stranger's life a little bit easier. Because a lot of the people, and we're not alone in terms of, doing charitable work, but these are people that you go into it understanding you will never meet for the most part. You will never meet them and they will never meet you. And that's why when it comes to like this event, I'm sort of a reluctant figurehead. I understand somebody has to do this. Somebody has to talk. Somebody has to promote it. And that's fine. I'll do that. But as I always tell everybody, we're throwing the party, but the event is about all of us. You all own a piece of this.
Yeah.
So I want to make that clear. Like, I'll field the questions. Like, I'll field the questions are over and over and over and have redundancy to them. But at the end of the day, we're all doing something to help somebody that you're never going to meet. Mm-hmm. And there's a good feeling in that. You know what I mean? Because I don't care where the funds are dispersed. And this means a lot to me because my niece-in-law, my great-nephew's new wife, lost her sister at 13 years old, Megan.
Oh.
And this is a great many years ago. And in town here in Tiverton, they've done bike runs and they've done 5K walks, Dollars for Megan, they call it. And this all goes to, the programs like this. Well, Sarah, her sister, my great nephew Scott's brand new wife, and he just entered the service and she's a service bride now. She joined Hope Helps Camp Braveheart to work with other kids who are going through the same thing she did when her sister, succumbed to cancer, I believe it was. And she knows what she went through. So she has thrown her entire adult life into this program to raise other kids that she knows are going through the same thing she did. So for the first time, this is a cause to me that means something to me personally, because I am close to the people who are doing this stuff. I see what she does, and I could not be happier that we're doing that this year.
It's really interesting.
It's getting like, wow, is it like it's smoky in here?
I know. I was putting an ad up on Middleborough, helping Middleborough for some printing advice because I'm doing a lot of advertising, and someone said, basically they couldn't help me with my advertising question, but they loved Camp Braveheart and been there last summer, and they said thank you for doing this. So what are the chances? I thought it was really, really cool. And another interesting thing that happened, we had a bad thing happen and a good thing happen, I think about the same time. We were trying to do our raffle. We've had hundreds of items in our raffles. This year we could not do a raffle because we're in Massachusetts and we're a Rhode Island nonprofit. But
bureaucracy bullshit.
Yeah. So after an hour at the town hall, but at the same point, I was walking out of my office at General Dynamics and a girl's like, do you know anybody who could use money? A charity. I'm like, really? Yeah, they need to spend money by the end of the year. So I really?
Well, we've all got a story tonight, don't we?
Yeah, so I actually submitted this thing, and I know the two people on the board at General Dynamics, and it's some kind of community outreach support. So I put Camp Braveheart, and they gave us $500. So we lost a little bit of money on that, but now the company's throwing out $500. It's already been sent to the camp.
Right. In the blink of
So
an eye. Just
that
like
was cool.
That's fantastic.
And that's how it rolls. You know,
Yeah.
there's a wonderful, I don't even know. I don't know who wrote it or who said it. And perhaps one of you will recognize it, but there's a phrase that the true lover of nature plants the tree that he will never sit beneath.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You are essentially laying the groundwork for, I mean, probably the most rewarding thing would be when that time comes, and we're all getting older now, and this is one of the reasons we moved to this venue, because you know the way it was, putting up tents, and we're all getting
Oh,
older.
it was exhausting. We were exhausted before we started, and all I did was show up. You guys have been there for overnight, slept on the theater floor. I mean, oh my God.
I know. But the thing I hope in the future is someone comes down the pike that we really trust. You know, and there are a couple of names that I'm not going to throw out there because I would never put them under this pressure, but a couple of young people, let's just put it that way.
Okay.
Who might come forward in years to come when our time is pretty much, I can't do it, and would say, can we pick up this ball and run?
Carry the torch.
Mm-hmm.
You
Carry
know what
the
I'm
torch.
saying? Because that time will come, and we've established something now that I see more and more of these things where they go to charity. I see more and more of these things where they have outside events. And I don't think it's plagiarism. I mean, we're honored when we see that kind of thing, when they're looking at what we're doing and saying, you know what, I want to do that too. You know, I want to do this for, I hate to say use the word charity. You know, these aren't charities. They're advocacy groups.
Right.
They're not looking for handouts. They're looking for assistance.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, I don't like that word charity. But more and more, I would like to see this type of thing. Take what we are given,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and just do something beyond, you know, chasing ghosts around. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean to minimize what we do, but you know what I'm saying.
I do.
It's like there are more to our lives than, I mean, I like art, I like music, I like sports, I like a lot of different things. You know, we do this, but it doesn't necessarily have to define us. It may be what people know us for. That's fair, but it doesn't define who we are. There's more to us than that, and there's more that we can do. So,
well, you know, I proudly
let's do it.
declare myself as an activist. I have been an activist since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. And I credit my mother for that. I mean, my mother dragged me to every, you know, Vietnam War protest, we just did it. I mean, it's part of my DNA, you know, it really is. And so because it comes so naturally to me, you know, in terms of my outreach to the community at large, and you know, people that I stand up and defend that I will never know, including Bathsheba. You know, I don't know Bathsheba. I never got to meet Bathsheba, but I defend her and, you know, defend her honor and speak up for her. I cannot absolve her of what she was accused of, but I can say, whoa, wait a minute here. You know, there's no proof anywhere that she did what.
Can I take over the interview? Can I take over your show for a minute? Because I have a question for you.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Would you say, because, you know, and maybe I'm looking at this really myopically, would you say that, I'm not saying perhaps the most, but in that category of historical figures, Bathsheba Sherman, in terms of historical figures who just got the worst rap, You know what I'm saying? It's like, and there are a lot. I mean, there are, historical, political figures, religious figures that were martyred, and I understand that. But in terms of popular culture, would you say, and we go around here, I was thinking about this the other day. Do you think that, she might be in that category of historical figures who absolutely got the absolute worst rap? And it continues to this day.
Yeah.
On YouTube and TikTok and the internet and social media, where people go in, oh, the demon Bathsheba. It's like, have you not been paying attention? Well, the answer is no. But what do you think, Andrea?
Well, I kind of said what I think on the live stream to a multitude of people, a multitude of live viewers, what I think about people going into that farmhouse, taking advantage of Corey and Jen Heinzen's good nature and trust, because they don't let people come in to investigate in that house and then hover over them. They trust they give them the benefit of the doubt that they're mature adults. They give them, I've seen several instances, certainly not all, the vast majority of people that have been welcomed to the farmhouse as investigators are, ardent, steadfast, serious, and they just want to compile more evidence. It matters to them. The place fascinates them. But there are a handful of imbeciles and idiots that have gone into that house, trusted to behave themselves, and then have basically masqueraded as serious paranormal investigators, going in there to conduct an investigation, and then they turn around and make a mockery of the house, make a mockery of our story, my family's story, and particularly my mother's pain and what she suffered. Oh, now, Julie, no, I'm sorry, never mind. That was me. That was my reflection in over you. But I know that it wasn't with Tony. Tony, as soon as we're done, you go find what I'm talking about, and then you call me.
Tony got to be checking for implants here pretty soon. Check everywhere.
I was, I felt badly about that afterwards because, Ken, you and I talked about it, and I said that just erupted spontaneously out of me. That was an outflow of emotion that I did not anticipate, was certainly not preconceived. But I have, obviously these people they're just too ignorant to live. They don't even have a reputation to uphold. And,
though, Andrea, with our age comes a certain privilege to speak your truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we don't have to play the game anymore.
I know. Well, I never did. I've always been serious as a heart attack about this. I just consider their behavior incredibly disrespectful. Particularly, one individual whose name shall not be mentioned, who literally feigned possession in that house. That is so incredibly disrespectful to my mother and what my mother went through, that he is so lucky that I don't just take my boot and grind it through his skull. I mean, and the thing is that what he did was seen by possibly even millions of people and left an indelible impression on them. And, so was willing to literally sell his soul to the devil for 15 minutes of fame and fortune. And, maybe not even fortune, just fame, and that being part of the show that I wish that I had never done. The one thing that I wish that I had never done at the farm. It was my own fault. I was not adequately prepped in terms of what would be expected of me. I didn't ask the right questions, and I never asked who else was going to be involved with the broadcast. My bad, my fault, lesson learned. I own it. Had I known, and had I known the reputation of the group, I was the one that went in ignorant in that particular incident and had to take down, at the time that it aired, I was live streaming it from my friend's house up in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And I had to take it down afterwards because my head exploded. And I didn't want people to see, that side of me. When I witnessed what I did, I had a spontaneous reaction to it. I understand, even though I did not see it, there were a couple of, moronic lunatics that went into the house under the guise of investigating it, that put on pussycat ears because they'd heard that there was a spirit dog in the house and they were trying to see if it would attack them. Okay. No. I think there are lessons being learned all the way around this, and I felt really, really badly. I mean, I can just imagine how Corey and Jen reacted when they got wind of that.
Not good.
They're trying to open that house up in a way that it's never been opened before. But I'll tell you what, the spirits don't like it. They don't.
I'm sure
they don't. I know that when my family and I walked in there, gadgets and gizmos started going off. That was to be anticipated. Mm-hmm. We knew it. When I walk in that house, even just my voice will activate. It will bring forth activity in the house. It's happened too many times. It's undeniable. It just does. But I felt like it was time to kind of call out. Well, it wasn't. It was not a preconceived notion to do it. It just kind of like a la Mount Vesuvius erupted out of me. And I think it was because of the heightened tension, because of Jay asking my family if we could recreate the seance. And we all saw what reaction that got. And not just about an hour later, he comes up to me. He says, I think I'm the most hated man in cyberspace right now. Because it wasn't just my family that said, are you kidding? It was everyone that was watching it. The chat room exploded. But, I thought that after it happened, because, other than on at the stage at the assembly one year that you might remember when a certain prior owner to the farm showed up and decided to make a scene while we were there to, take care of raising money for a good cause. And she walked in to, cause a scene. I don't think anybody in this field or anybody outside my immediate family had ever seen my head blow off like that before. And I felt terrible about that. And I confronted her. My father confronted her. The stage manager removed her from the theater under Ken's order to, please go handle this. We don't want this. This is not what this event is about. So I felt really badly about that. But this at the live stream, I was like, I need to, this is maybe a mea culpa moment for me, because this really isn't like me to speak that way or get that loud. It literally exploded out of me. And so I didn't do anything about it. I didn't even talk to anyone. I didn't even talk to Ken about it right away. And I took off a couple of days later and I went to Michigan to do the Mid-Michigan Paracon. And I was there with, boatload of my followers and friends from that fine state in the frozen tundra. And I told John Tenney, who was sitting right next to me, our tables were together, and I told him, like what I did and how I felt kind of ashamed. And he said, "Are you kidding?" He's like, don't you think that needed to be said in this community? And he said, "Did you drop any names?" And I said, "No." And he said, at the same time that I said it, they know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "You don't owe anybody an apology." And he said that's something that needed to be put out in the world. And then my friend that was standing next to me, she said, "You are, the most credible source for something like that. Not only do you have a vested interest in your friends, the Heinzens, you have obviously a vested interest in the house and the way that it is perceived in the general public and the way that it is treated by those that walk into it. Who better to call them on the carpet than you?"
Mm-hmm.
But when Tenny gave me his, thumbs up, "It's okay, you did all right, chick, don't worry." I just let it go. It's like, okay, you know what? That's a part of me too. And if I'm going to put myself out in the world, you might as well know all of me. And there's some stuff that really pisses me off, and that was it. And so I said so.
Well, it's funny that when people do something publicly that hundreds of thousands or millions of people can see, that's an affront to somebody, they want to be spoke to it about in private. Isn't that funny how that works? Like, how dare you call me out in front of a bunch of people? It's just kind of like, well, you're on the record.
Yeah. And how dare you behave the way that you did of people, in front of countless people.
Yet I'm supposed to have a private conversation with you because you don't want to be embarrassed. Well, guess what, Chickie? You just embarrassed a whole lot of people. So, laws of attraction, you put it out, it comes back. That's the way it goes.
Yeah. And, Andrea, you are probably one of the kindest woman that I've ever met. And I've seen you do things that are just amazing on a regular daily basis for people, to help them to, we were in Los Angeles, and I think I saw you give away more cigarettes than you smoked to people coming up and ask. And, the luncheon you did for all your friends who couldn't come to the house. You continually to do stuff like that. And you, as long as I've known you, I've never seen you react in a negative fashion that wasn't deserved.
I have.
But that one time, yes.
Everybody's got their buttons. Everybody's got their buttons.
One time.
And when Andrea reacts, she's got a perfectly, and what the situation you were just explaining deserved it. These people were uneducated on what had happened, what they were saying, and how it affected you, your family, and everybody in between. What you had a right to say, they deserved. And you should never, ever feel guilty about standing up for the people that was affecting, hurting, and that they were deliberately making fun of in front of, like you said, millions of people that probably heard it, watched it, who don't have the history, don't have the understanding. You did what you needed to do, and you should never feel bad about that. Ever.
Yeah. And I've always said this, and I've said it to you, Annie. I've said it on shows. I've said it everywhere. My biggest gripe when people, well, it's not the way it used to be. Things change, evolve or die. I get that. But the biggest thing that bothers me is the desensitization of people, because you could never forget, for everything we're doing, and we're all sitting here doing a podcast, and people are going to listen to us, and we become voices, and that's fine. But never forget that all of this is done on the shoulders of the dead.
Yes.
Your
That's
fame,
right.
your fortune, all your attention. Let's not forget that they're not here for our entertainment. They're not here as props. They're not here, to help us, to lift us into heights of attention and fame and stuff. These are people who had their successes and failures, their mothers, fathers, grandparents, aunts, uncles, just like the rest of us. So this is the biggest gripe I have when people use the people who have passed on as a prop.
Yes, thank you for saying it.
You know,
Because that really is, it's not just about disrespecting my mother or my family or the story or the house. It's about disrespecting the spirits. And, you know, I can't help it. I feel protective of them. I feel protective of the house and those who dwell within, the living and the dead. And I always have. And I do need to put some distance this time. You know, I called Julie the other day. I'm like, Jules, is it okay if we just hang out at your house and you know, maybe just hang out at your house? Would that be okay? Could we just hang out and not go to the farm and just enjoy each other's company and not even go there? You know, and what did you say to me, Julie?
That's fine. I mean, it's just, you have to decompress. You have to plan. I've realized in life, I'm very, very busy with all the stuff that I do. You have to plan downtime. You have to plan. And Annie, I don't think you know what downtime is. You know, you're just going, every time I talk to you, you're in another state, you know, and coming back from Colorado today and leaving for Rhode Island tomorrow. But you need downtime. You need time to just chill. And I know this coming weekend you're going to be busy. I know you give 110% every time I see you at Paracon and then at the Alley Theater. And by the way, what's the weird story of who you took a picture with that you sent to Lorna today? What a small world. I was like, Lorna's like, can you believe this? You have to tell the story.
So I'm in the throes of depression yesterday because of my damn lost earring, right? And I go upstairs and the wind is howling and the impending snow is looming, and I put on my nice warm fuzzy flannel jammies and crawl up into my king size bed and turn on my TV and just say, okay, I need to just like whoosh, I just need to do that. And I hear ding in my phone. And it is a lovely woman named Maureen, who is dear friends with our mutual friend, Tiffany, and also with Lorna. Now, I didn't know she knew Lorna. Tiffany Rice is the one that told me about her. And I said, sure, give her my phone number, because apparently she was coming out to Boulder to film at Gaia this week also. And there was the possibility that we would overlap. So it's her. She's like, I'm in the lobby. Hi, it's Maureen. I'm in the lobby. I'm like, okay, it's 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night. I'm in the lobby. What are you doing? Now, we haven't met yet, okay? We have not met yet. And Maureen Hancock, lovely, lovely woman. We had texted through the phone. Tiffany put us in touch with each other. And I said, I'm upstairs feeling sorry for myself in my flannel jammies. Would you like to come up? And I said, I'm in the north wing. She's like, so am I. I'll be there in 5 minutes. So, I ran around the room, cleaned up my clothes that were thrown everywhere. I mean, it was just like a freaking tornado came through there. Reason being, I thought that the damn earring was stuck in the lace of my shirt. So when I got up to my room, I'm pulling my clothes off and throwing them here and there and just trying to, go through each, where's the damn earring? It's not there. So anyway, I got my bras over here and my pants are over there. And, it's like, wow, my God. So in the 3 minutes that it took her to get to the room, I tidied it and made myself look like, a human being that was somewhat in control of my environment. And I opened the door and I looked into her eyes and I'm like, oh my God, I know you. Her eyes and my eyes are identical. I just looked at her and I said, "You're Pleiadian." She's like, "Oh my God, are we going to get along?" And she comes barreling into my room and plops down, and we sit there for the next 2 hours and just relive our lives, everything that we've done. It's like the ultimate reuniting of two souls. Where the hell have you been? Why did it take so long? And then she had to go and do her interview this morning. And she said, when they say hair and makeup, do they really mean it? Like, can I just go looking like a hag and they'll fix that? And I'm like, yep, yeah, absolutely. Hair and makeup, you got it. I mean, it's like, don't even worry. Just pick a couple of outfits. Let them choose what looks best with the background. I mean, we instant friends. And she said, well, when you go up to Rhode Island, what are you going to do? I said, oh, I'm doing this thing at this little theater in Middleborough called the Abbey Theater. She's like, are you serious? Are you serious? Lorna Brunel? I said, yeah. And I've got her, she sent me a couple of really beautiful pictures of her so that I could choose one to, set her in my phone. So I'd have a biopic of her. And so, that was recent. So it was easy. I opened up my photographs and I start scrolling through and I clicked on it and I'm like, this Lorna Brunel. And she's my closest friend. I've known her forever. Oh my God. I can't believe this. I mean, the circle is so small, birds of a feather do tend to flock together. But what are the chances that the woman sitting in my hotel room in Boulder, Colorado, is the best friend of the woman who I'm appearing in her theater on Sunday in Massachusetts?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Maureen sells out the theater. Anytime she's there, the show instantly sells out. And any place in the area sells out. I'm like, Lorna sends me this picture. I'm like, oh my God, Andrea's with Maureen Hancock right now. It's just really weird. Really, really weird.
You're really going to like the theater. It's kind of
cool.
like, you know what it is? It's cabaret.
That's me.
That's the word I was looking at. It's a cabaret. Round tables with 4 high-back chairs, and they can order food and bring it in, and there's a bar open in the lobby. It's cabaret.
Something tells me this is going to be my first of many appearances at the Abbey Theater.
And it's haunted. We just investigated it.
Ooh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
We had some pretty cool things happen. So we're hoping to get back there.
Well, next time, count me in on that. And I'm not like really big into the investigation thing, but I am a conduit and a bit of a magnet. Mm-hmm. So, I'll see what I pick up on. And Tony, I'll fill you in on all of that too, because come hell or high water, we're getting you to New England. You're coming with us. So you're playing paranormal on the East Coast with us. Okay.
Would love to. Absolutely would love to.
What a tour you'll get.
It is
Pain
the
House.
hot spot.
Yeah.
It is.
A lot of good places. Pain House, Oliver House, a lot of places really close by.
I don't know if people know it, but I met Julie and Ken at Pain House in Coventry.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you tell the audience about that interesting evening?
Yeah, we touched on it a little bit before, but why don't you go ahead, Julie? Because, you can start it from the idea that we investigated the house and there was no movie, there was no books. We had no idea who the parents were.
Yeah, this was in 2010, I believe.
Yeah.
And we had the opportunity. Yeah. We had someone in our group who that was her godmother. And we got in because I remember when she was telling Ken, this is my godmother's house. You want to investigate it? I thought Ken's jaw was going to drop. That was at Belcourt Castle. So we got to the house. It was hot, very, very hot day. We had maybe 3 or 4 hours in the afternoon or evening. I thought Ken was going to melt upstairs. It was hot and humid, and she closed all the windows, which was good in one sense, but very bad in another. So we were there for 3 or 4 hours. And again, we're walking down the stairs. My mistake, you never put your hand around a voice recorder because that's why the recording's sort of crappy. So we got this. I'm like, Ken, listen to this. So the first time we met Andrea, he's like, we're going to meet Andrea for the first time and doing your tour with the books and the Conjuring movie coming out. And I said, Andrea, I'm going to play this clip for you. I'm not going to say anything. And I play it, and I'm thinking she's going to say, what the hell? She nods her head. I'm like, really?
And I had headphones on.
Yes. And I was like, and it sounded like a child saying, find me, minus my hand all over the microphone. And she goes, yeah, my sister played hide and seek with a ghost in the house growing up. And I'm like, oh my God. And it was so cool because that's where the paranormal ties in with historical research. Right. They can be combined versus, someone says all this stuff and you have all this stuff happen, but it's in your books. And we had something again caught in, I think it was 2010. Correct. So this goes way back before all this other hype. And it was really, really cool. And I actually told that story at the Alley Theater. Me and Ken did a presentation there about a month ago. And I said, what are the chances that this house that everybody in the world knows about now, and we have this little clip, probably the first clip that, I know way back, all that data was lost due to all the issues with the Warrens, but we probably have the first DVP. And again, this is before the hype, and to say, this matches what Andrea has in her books. Mm-hmm. I thought that was awesome.
And not just was give us context to something that we didn't know what it was. Not the first time we'd ever recorded a child's voice. You know what that's like, Tony, right? I mean, oh yeah, not the first time we recorded a child's voice. How we get a child's voice? Gee, I hope they're okay, the usual things, but we didn't have any context. Now, of course, everyone knows the story of her little sister, and we knew nothing.
Yeah.
So this was like an organic type of thing. And then when she came along, and I expected her to, hair on fire, and Annie just kicked the earphones off and just went, yeah.
Well, what an amazing experience though, to be able to not have that knowledge prior and then have it validated after the fact that you call. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, it was like, hi, Andrea. It's nice to meet you. My name's Ken. Here, listen to this. It was literally,
yes,
literally
that's how it was, down in the cellar.
In the basement,
house.
Yep.
Wow.
First time.
And then you played another EVP for me off the computer. Do you remember? And I turned and I looked at you and I said, I recognize that voice from my childhood. But I didn't know who it belonged to.
It was likely when I had a camera, I was upstairs in one of the bedrooms, right at the top of the stairs. I don't know whose room that was. But I was laying on the bed. It's like where that hallway connects the two bedrooms. I was in the second one, and I've got a camera around. And I'm in the house all by myself at this point. Yeah. And I'm just lying on the bed, just looking, hey, I'm vulnerable. I'm nobody here, and I get this, hey, in my right ear. And you see, my camera goes like this for a second. Scared the shit out of me. And I remember calling outside. And because we were set up in the hatch of the car, nobody was, I said, did a truck just go by? Did anything happen outside? No, nothing out here, quiet. And I'm just kind of like, somebody just yelled in my ear and it just scared the living shit out of me. And I get the voice back from Chris going, that's awesome.
I come up into the room. I come up into the room right after that happened. He looked frazzled, and you don't see Ken frazzled. Plus, it was hot. But he's like, someone just screamed in my ear. But he was a little distraught. That was good.
Thanks for that.
And I say to that, imagine living there for 10 years, day and night, night and day. Is it any? Okay. And the time is 1:41:06. Okay, check it again. You just had another one. Zoom, right in front of you, Tony. Right in front of you. Bugs don't move that fast. We're talking light speed.
All right, 1:46 marked.
Maybe the bugs are stationary and Tony's going at work.
That might be entirely possible because this whole week has felt like that.
Right? I'm just saying. I have not smoked any weed or anything today, but I'm just saying, think about that.
Well, I'm pleading the fifth on that, but still, I saw something. Oh my God. Yeah, you're going to definitely have to check and then call me.
I will. I definitely will.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, you take those clips out and you clip those and you send those to these two because I know that they're looking at something else. I'm not seeing things. This is real. This is happening. I'm telling you right now.
I'm sure you're seeing it, but like Cass, I'm not, and I'm thinking, what are they seeing? Because I mean, obviously, if it's going right between, you think I'd see it, but I'm not, so.
Yeah. Well, she reviewed the link that I sent her, and she called me after she was done rewatching the show, and she's like, okay, yeah, that's something.
I just saw that. I saw it.
41:51.
Yeah,
I saw that too.
41:51.
I just saw that too. That one was, yeah. Well, now you got me looking at Tony trying to find things. Damn it.
Yowza. Yowza. Oh, you know, I feel like today I've been touched by magic. Magic being science that we do not yet understand. I feel hopeful. I feel, you know, one of the things that I feel a little regret about yesterday when I was doing the interview with Regina, she made some comment and I said, I don't know if I have that much hope in humanity, or faith in humanity, or if, you know, if I'm starting to feel a little hopeless. It's like, you know, wake up, but stand up, rise up, speak up, do something, damn it, do something. They can't do it for us. You know, it's one thing to just say, oh yeah, okay, you know, I'm awake and I know that means I can't go back to sleep. But what's the point if you're catatonic? What's the point if you're just sitting still and there's no forward momentum and we're not learning anything and we're not advancing the field and we're not advancing human evolution and spiritual ascension? What is the point? You know, so I was kind of off on one of those tangents, and yet today, and you know, I'm honest to a fault, and sometimes that fault shows, and I don't, you know, I'm supposed to be here to be the beacon and be the light and lift people up, and sometimes I go into a little bit of dark space myself, just looking at the reality of the situation. You know, it's not all freaking unicorns and lollipops. It's not. And anybody that says that it is delusional. Yeah. So, you know, when I'm in that headspace and I'm looking at the complexities and, you know, the complexion of all that we confront to go from, you know, to make that quantum leap in consciousness from grade school to grad school, that's a big leap to take. It's not only a leap of faith, but it's a leap of knowledge, a leap of consciousness. It's a lot. And I don't fault anyone for wanting to stay asleep. I don't. It's just easier, you know, but in the age of global communication, willful ignorance is just unacceptable.
Well, you just touched on it right there. There's always been this sense of conflict, but the delivery system is different now because it's a 24/7 news cycle. It's the internet, and everybody's got a dog in a different fight, whether it's far left, far right, conservative, liberal, moderate, whatever. Every media outlet has their base, their audience. This is what they're going to give you. They're going to give you exactly what you want to hear on both sides of this spectrum. You know, I don't mean it necessarily as a political.
Another guy. Wait, 146:28.
I saw it.
Oh, there's another one. but not necessarily in a political arena, but in anything, whether it's UFO disclosure or lack of. This past May, we talked about that with Lee Spiegel the other day. What a nothing.
Yeah, I know,
Lee. Nothing burger that was.
Yeah.
But it's the delivery system.
Right.
It's no longer, it's like, this happened today. Now you make up your own mind. Now it's, this happened today, and we're going to have a panel of 15 people on to give you their opinions on it. So we stopped thinking for ourselves a long time ago, and they're doing all our thinking for us. This is why we need that metaphorical, like, punch right in the jaw right now that we have to give ourselves. We have to self-inflict that on ourselves.
Yeah.
And wake up from this, because we're being told what to think. We're being fed it 24/7.
And for me, this isn't even geopolitical. This is exopolitical. This is, how do we fit in the universe? Who are we? Where do we come from? Why are we here? Let's ask the big questions. 2 questions that are important to humanity. Are we alone in the universe? Oh, hell no, we're not. Is there something beyond our mortal existence? Oh, yes, there is. This isn't faith. This isn't wishful thinking. This isn't dreamscape. This isn't anything but empirical knowledge based on evidence that I have garnered over a lifetime of experience. I do not impose it upon anyone else. This is my experience. I'm only courageous enough to share it, come what may, not giving a damn who reacts to it one way or the other. And that's the only perspective that I can take on this. And if somebody wants to tune me out, fine, tune me out. Go tune in something that entertains you, that informs you in a different way, that resonates with you. I'm not here for everyone. Neither are you, Ken. Neither are you, Julie. Neither are you, Tony. We are here to speak our truth, to go out into the world with a specific message for the betterment of humankind. And if they don't hear it, that's not our fault. It's not our responsibility. It's not our problem. But big picture, if we don't wake up en masse, we are on the precipice of disaster in a plethora of ways. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I was dealing with yesterday and talking to Regina about. Like, I feel like, I love coming to Gaia. I love doing open minds. I love it. But there's a part of me that's, very pragmatic and very realistic. And I realize that I am preaching to the choir. And the only hope that I have is the choir is growing. That's the only hope that I have. Mm-hmm. And I know we're running out of time. I wanted to thank Ken and Julie, Tony, always a pleasure. I love you dearly. Go review this episode immediately. And then call me. And I will see you all at Ocean State Paracon this weekend. And we are going to have a celebration. Let it be a celebration of our love for each other, our kindness toward humanity. Let us be the beneficiaries of this light and love that we share and be uplifted. Let us rise up together this weekend and let that be the message. I love you all with all my heart, and I will see you soon. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.